Hey everybody, this is TMG Podcast. This is Carlos, and with me is only Will
It's
tonight.
just me.
Yes, and this is a podcast about them video games. We do this every week, and we are pretty much playing catch up this week. We are pretty much covering, I guess, 2 weeks worth of of news, of announcements, and whatnot. And because of this, we had a really, I guess, one of our longest episodes last week because we had a huge problem with with our with our net, because we live in the Philippines and the PLDT and any other ISP is just not really working for us. So last episode 83, was our E3 predictions episode, and instead of it becoming a two-part episode,
It became a giant
I decided
episode.
I just jammed everything in. So it's probably our longest episode yet. It's 3 hours long. Last time I checked, yeah, it's one of our longest episodes yet. So if you guys want to check out
and
our
already a
predictions,
week in, already a week in, some of our predictions are coming true and are also being like unconfirmed.
yes,
So,
I know. So you guys, if you this month, this is actually the first. This is actually June, right? It's the first day of June. It's June 1. We have an episode every Tuesday, so probably you're listening to this on the first week of June. E3 is like what? A week away? 2 weeks away? So we're pretty excited. We threw already our E3 predictions. We'd like to hear yours as well. So you can just throw an email and give us a shout out about what you guys are expecting on the E3 this year. But if you guys want to check out our predictions and us having fun with the idea of just seeing what will go on Sony's press conference or Microsoft's press conference, go head over to episode 83. It's 3 hours long. Be warned. We're warning you. So take it easy on that one. So
it's good for long drives.
It's good for long drives. It's good for long commutes. And if you can't finish it, because yes, it's long. It's pretty damn long. Just pause it and come back for it later, I guess. I'd have to work on timestamps on our podcast, actually. It's be easier to do that. But yeah, that was like 8 episodes. Was that 8 press conferences?
We didn't even cover all of it because we just covered the main press conferences and none of the actual individual guys. So there's still a lot, and then we totally missed a few things also, like the whole Nintendo World Championship Finals and all that. We completely missed some of those.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And it's just us having fun because we have really absurd announcements, really absurd predictions. But it's part of the fun. And I guess, like you said, Will said a while ago that some of our predictions actually already came out. Doom is definitely going to have its world premiere on the Bethesda press conference, so that's going to happen. What else was officially announced?
A lot. Well, nothing a lot, but yeah.
But anyway,
some stuff we expected. More remasters are being announced and stuff. So we'll get to that though in a bit. But let's start with.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a bit. But yeah, go over to episode 83. Check out our predictions. For this week, we're playing catch up. Like I said, we're gonna cover what happened last week and this week. But before we tackle that, though, there's one game I kind of want to tackle already right off the bat because I've been playing it pretty much the moment I got it. And I think
no. Okay, go on. Mention the game first. I'm excited to discuss.
The Witcher 3, The Wild Hunt. I mean,
and you've been playing it on.
It's
and
finally
you've been playing it on PS4, right? I just want to make a quick note about the PC version because I thought this was really interesting.
Okay, so I'm playing the PS4 and you're playing the PC version.
The funny thing about the PC version is how when you buy a PC game, normally it's on Steam, right? It's normally a Steam installer basically that you're buying. But in the case of The Witcher 3, it actually installed to GOG, goodoldgames.com. And that for me was a first. I've never seen a game that you buy at retail like go on that service. So I thought that was really kind of curious. Because if you don't know, Good Old Games also has a Steam-like service
Was it a
now called
hindrance
Galaxy. No, not at all. I mean, the Galaxy service is actually pretty easy to use. It's a little different from Steam, obviously, but for the most part, it's not. It's not hard to use. And actually, you also, I'm sure, I got the pre-order bonus, which was the free copy of the first two Witcher games, and those were codes that were redeemable on GOG as well. So. Yeah, I just found it really, really, really curious that it would go to GOG rather than Steam.
Well, I know the project, CD Project Red, like they're pretty much affiliated with Good Old Games. So
yeah, I think it has to do with
sense,
like
yeah.
I think with like their whole anti-DRM policy. You know how
that
how
too,
they've been
yeah,
very
that
adamant
too.
against DRM, and Good Old Games is the one service that makes it a point to say, hey, we've got all these old games here, and all of it's DRM free, right? So
Yeah, DRM meaning that you don't require to go online in order to
no
play it. You can
online
actually just get
bullshit,
it.
no disc needed inside, whatever.
Yeah, you get it,
It's
you
your
play it,
yeah.
and have fun, no matter what restrictions. But yeah, Witcher 3. Um, Wait, where do we start? This game's actually pretty big.
Let's start with Gwent because I love Gwent.
I love Gwent, dude. It's it taps my Hearthstone addiction really well. The moment I figure out how to play that game, everything I do, as long when I get a new town or I get a new NPC or someone who knows how to play Gwent, I will play
No,
that
exactly.
no
That's
matter what.
exactly what I do. If I find a guy who plays, I won't leave until I beat the guy. You know,
Yeah.
because when you beat them, they give you cards
And
also. So
yeah, when you beat like the new guy up, a new player for the first time, you get a new card. And if you play it again, you won't get one. But it's a huge incentive when you meet someone new, and then he apparently plays Gwent, and I'm like, oh, that's when I'm super excited. I just, get out of my chair, and I'm like, let's do this.
yeah, actually,
And it's well made.
It's
It's
extremely
really
well
well
made.
made.
Actually, I was thinking like you could just take Gwent out of The Witcher 3 and make that sort of like its own game, and it would probably do well.
Yeah, let it go against Hearthstone. I'll be so playing that game. It's actually a lot of fun. Like we're not even joking here. It's a mini game, and I think it's one of the best mini games I've played in a long time in any game. And it's just I don't know. I'm so addicted. Like I'm so excited to complete my monster deck because there's like what four different decks
Yeah,
or the four different factions.
four or five factions. I forget. I think four.
Yeah, because I have the elves already like playable, and then I have the Temerian deck
And
all
then
set up.
and
Or it's Temerian?
yeah,
No,
Temerian and
Temerian. Yeah.
Nilfgaardian, the Skoya.
Nilfgaardian, I don't have enough cards yet. I don't know why. The Scoia'tael deck, the Elf deck, I have already a full deck. I don't know how I got the Elf deck to be full already before the Nilfgaardian, but yeah, there's a lot of variety. I'm so addicted to it. And that's just only one portion of the game, and it already for sure took at least 5 hours of my life, and that's just the mini game. And that alone can already pretty much state or give you guys an idea that Witcher 3 is a huge game with a lot of content.
It's a huge game. It's open world, but what I like about it is that everything feels like it's there's purpose to it. Like in Dragon Age Inquisition, a lot of the areas there, yeah, it's huge. There's so much to do, but a lot of it felt really optional. Like it felt like I wouldn't. I'm not going to get anything significantly important if I do this or if I don't do this, right? But here you feel like every little bit that you do sort of matters in a way. You know,
Yeah, I remember your complaint about that when you're really close to you're going through the main story and you were actually complaining that there are two more areas you can explore, but you don't see any incentive to do it
yeah,
in Dragon
exactly. Well,
Age.
I think one of the reasons why is like um, the problem with Dragon Age was that like doing all those side quests like they don't really tie into your personal story so much, you know. And
Yeah.
like the reward for doing them is like was it influence or something? But that's like it was.
Influence, which is like you
Yeah,
have a lot
which you
of
at some point you're like
eventually.
you've got
So.
so much of it already that you don't know what to do with it, right? So a lot of those
Mhm.
areas like, well, it's just going to be like helping villagers again or whatever. So you know you don't really feel here though. It's like okay, you're a witcher. Your job is to help these people and kill monsters and stuff. So and it's you. He makes no qualms about it, right? He'll be like, yeah, I'll do it for money. He won't do
Yeah.
it for free. Yeah, if you pay me, sure.
No, and people and usually when you actually go up to these quests or these people that need help, yes, the Geralt of Rivia or the Witchers actually say, yeah, I'll do this for money, and then the people that they're quite aware that the Witchers are never do
Yeah,
things for free,
exactly.
and I just like that mentality, like I'll do it, but it's for coin and everything. It's just my profession. It's a profession in this world, and yeah, like you said, all these quests. You know how when I say I really hate open world games and how it is now, especially how Ubisoft takes open
Yes.
world games, like how Assassin's Creed. Um, I was I was so hoping that I wouldn't get the same treatment for The Witcher 3 because CD Projekt Red, they're not an open world kind of game. They are an RPG developer, but this is the first time that their game will go completely open world. So I don't know how well they're gonna tackle the open world
Aspect of it.
aspect of it. Yeah. So far, they've taken it on a completely different level for me because I guess they understood that doing fetch quest or like those really dull like I'll kill these wolves just for the heck of it. No,
Do
from what I'm noticing, all those small little quests that you think are very non-important or anything, they have a backstory into it, and actually it's very interesting to see what happens once you do it, and it's actually fulfilling once it ends for
Yeah, and
me.
like I said, like money is. Well, I don't know about you, but for me, like money is still kind of a rare commodity. Like I'm never loaded with cash, right? It's like I don't have a lot of money on hand. So for me, going out to do these quests to get money is like there's that incentive already there, you know.
Mm,
And of course, you get all the other stuff like the rare crafting material and all that. And I still feel like doing all these things, there's a good sense of progression for me, right? And
yeah,
I feel
for
that
sure.
I don't know how big this game is. It's probably huge, but I have a feeling if they can carry this through the entire game, because honestly, Dragon Age. I go back to Dragon Age. Dragon Age was good up to a point when I felt like, okay, I'm not improving anymore beyond this. Like I've reached the maximum potential of my character, and the Inquisition is like awesome
Yeah.
already. So I have no need to do all this other stuff. I'll just go finish the game. So I'm hoping here. I'm pretty early in the game, so maybe you're better off to talk about this. But I'm hoping they can carry this feeling I'm getting now from doing these side quests throughout the entirety of the game.
I can say that I think I guess I'm halfway done. I am definitely like 50 hours in. I'm like, I've been like I'm neck deep in this game, and the side quests and the purpose of these side quests midway, it still feels fulfilling because, like you said, you're never like loaded with
Mm.
cash. I sometimes feel like loaded with cash because like there's a one point where oh my god I have 3,000 gold, right? I have so much money all of a sudden. But when I start buying the new stuff,
it,
I start buying new plans for the alchemy, start buying that. All of a sudden they're gone, and all of a sudden the quests don't give the same amount of. It doesn't like rank up the quest reward. It's the same thing. Like I'm level like 15, and I'm still getting like 50 gold coins as if like I was doing a level
yeah.
2 quest. It's the same thing. It's the same amount. Like this, apparently there's no inflation or whatever when you level up. So it's still scarce. It's still hard. So that aspect alone for doing the side quest is still pretty big. But for me, so far every single side quest I've done, they've had they've placed a good mini story towards it. Like as simple as you meet someone. I think you. I don't. It's early in the game, but there's one that kind of expanded their concept of side quests where I met this guy, like this archer in the crossroads, and essentially he was like he started waving at me, hoping that I would come to him, and then because he needed help, because apparently he was raided by some monsters, and he can't go back for the stuff in the cart because it's still the monsters are still there, and he really deeply needs the stuff because they're medicine for his camp, for his comrades. So he asked me to deal with it because he knew I was a Witcher and he could deal with the monsters and get back the medicine box. Like, okay, it's more of a simple quest where I just have to kill something and then get it and I get rewarded. It seems like City Project Red added a little bit further by adding a little bit of a twist with these quests, where if you start to investigate the scene of the cart, you'll start to know that they weren't ambushed. He apparently, I'm kind of spoiling the quest, but he apparently ambushed that cart. But since he can't get the spoils of his ambush, because the monsters showed up, so he's asking someone else.
I like how the investigations play out in this game. Like one of the earlier quests that really showcased how good the system is it's very early on. But I remember it quite distinctly. Is you meet this dwarf blacksmith whose house was set on fire, and he asks you to investigate who the arson was. Did you do that bit? I'm sure you did that quest. It's like one of the first ones you do.
Yeah.
But the whole idea of tracking with your Witcher senses through the and then finding little clues as to what happened. Like, oh look, he was drunk, he got attacked by something here, and so on and so forth. And you finally find the guy, and it turns out he was just drunk and stuff. And then you can make he'll offer you hey, I'll pay you money, but don't turn me in. You can make that choice also. So it's. I like the grayness of it. It's never even the mere fact that you're already asking people are asking you for help and you're asking well pay me money. It's kind of putting you in this very gray spot in the world. But I kind of like it. it. It's
no, and I like the concept of the Witcher because in terms of the story, the Witchers the Witchers in this world are completely neutral, and the Witchers are supposedly have or because of what they went through to be to be the Witcher, they're emotionless. They're considered to be neutral. There's no side that they have to take in. So you're completely a character that's completely neutral. You can go on either side, either way, but in the end, you will always go back to neutral. You can just because this world is actually it's a war-torn world. Armies are trying to it's a place where war is currently ongoing, and you just have this guy just doing his own thing, going through places that you see war, you see death.
No, that's what I like about it. You're not you're just sort of the world goes. Yeah, the world. You're just sort of caught up in all of this stuff. You're not really.
You're not the big hero.
Central hero, exactly. You're the hero of your personal story, but not of what's. You're not trying to save the world or anything. Not like most RPGs where you're kind of. Oh, you're the chosen one. You have to, you're gonna kill the big bad guy now and save everybody. But here it's pay me money, man. I just need to make a living. And
I just have to go because the start of the game pretty much is just Geralt gets his memory back, and now he has to find his old friends. That's all he's focusing on doing. That's what happens. And during his journey to find Yennefer and his other friends. He goes in between. He gets caught up in these real world events, and he has a choice, or you guys have a choice to either confront it or just go away or get some coin. It's amazing. It's an amazing setting, and I kind of understand why they decided to go open world in this on the third game. And so far, it's living up to the hype, at least for me. Especially for someone that I'm a huge fan of The Witcher, and it's just like any other game that I'm super excited for. I kind of laid off on all the information. So far, I'm kind of happy with the pacing.
I think it's so far it's a good contender for me right now for Game of the Year, or at least RPG of the Year. So far.
Oh yeah, for RPG of the Year for sure. Yeah, that's definitely for sure. Dragon Age Inquisition, yeah, you were said it was pretty good. But it's not the content is just so much richer, so much more well thought of, and like you said about going back to the investigation part, it's the same thing over and over. In theory, it's the same thing over and over, but the writing really holds up to it. It really carries the possible repetitive gameplay, where like, oh, okay, you see tracks again. Oh, you see you have to look into this thing, you have to look into that. But it's so interesting to the point that it's the point where Geralt investigates. So you start to hear his thoughts into it. Like this guy pushed the table. That's where I saw the cut mark on his left foot. And then you start to imagine the scene, the things that Geralt's narrating, what he's thinking. So the writing pretty much masks the possible repetitive gameplay of the investigation, because it doesn't really change all the way up to where I am now. It's the same thing, but the story is, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I think there's one question I think in the city that literally has no combat, but it took me a whole night to finish. And it felt like an episode of Supernatural. I shit you not. It was actually a complete investigation. It was really cool.
I can't wait to get to that part.
And that was a side quest. That too was only a side quest.
But it's funny like that you mentioned also like how good they handled the open world here, because just before starting Witcher, I finished up Far Cry 4, which is another open world game, and it's Ubisoft, so we kind of know what to expect out of Ubisoft open world games. But like, yeah, it sort of drives home the fact that for me in Far Cry 4, there's so much optional stuff to do, but none of it feels that I there's no incentive for me to really do it, because at the end of it, like let's say you complete all of it, like what reward do you get? Oh, you get like a new gun that you can buy now, but it's not that much better than the gun you're using anyways, right? So like the reward isn't there, and I'm really hoping a lot of other companies take notice of how The Witcher handles their open world.
They have their occasional fluff though. They still have their occasional fluff. There's still like monster nests to blow up. There's still like bandit camps to raid, stuff like that. The usual call, but it's not that as big. Like for example, from Assassin's Creed, where you have to collect all those damn feathers, or liberate all those towers or whatnot. Not like it instantly shows the repetitiveness as early as like the first 4 hours. For example, I think have you seen like those abandoned sites in The Witcher?
Not yet. I'm really not that far in yet. Like I think.
No, I know, but there are certain parts like where it says abandoned site, and it's pretty much infested with either bandits or monsters. It's not really a spoiler. It's just one of those things that you can interact with. The reason why I'm mentioning is because it just shows like how the incentive is much more stronger here in Witcher 3, because like if you clear out that abandoned site, or rather those sites are either like a city or a port or a town. If you clear it off with all those enemies, the population that used to live there will start to show up.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And if you revisit that place, you'll get a new vendor that has an extra card or something interesting worth buying. That's what I'm saying. That's actually a big incentive, because you might get something that you might have not gotten if you didn't clear up the bandits or the monsters. With monster nests, I guess if you blow it up, you get those rare materials. So that's a strong enough incentive, I guess. But there's a strong tie-in for doing it so far. And yeah, they're nailing the open world aspect of this for sure. The story for sure. The combat. I don't know. What do you think about the combat? The combat feels exactly the same as Witcher 2.
I like the combat. Feels alright. Like it's nothing amazing, but like it feels good. Yeah. Like it's not terrible by any means. But I mean, it's hard for me to imagine how they would improve it. I always found The Witcher's combat to be rather unique, with the whole dual sword thing, and then but it's a little bit better, I think, than Witcher 2, because I find it easier now for whatever reason to cast signs. Like in Witcher 2, I rarely used any signs, but here it seems like I'm using them a lot more often now.
Yeah, I'm actually more of a sign user here. Like when I try to customize Geralt, I'm more of a sign user. I don't like the locking system of this game. Like it's more troublesome to actually lock into one character. It's better to just not and just just aim, just go for whatever direction you're planning to attack. Because when you're grouped up, when you're forced to fight like 4 or 5 people, auto locking is just not a good idea at all. Just get
and actually that brings up, well, not really a big complaint. At least in the PC, the default keyboard and mouse controls isn't really that great.
Yeah.
But
So the combat, it's nothing to it's okay. There's nothing grand about it, but it's enough to make it exciting every now and then. But so far, the one that really is holding up for me for the game itself is just the story um, and how they're handling the open world game. And of course Gwent, for fuck's sakes, Gwent's just so good.
Gwent is awesome, yeah.
For performances in The Witcher 3, it's still a mess though. I have to. It's not. It's a great. So far, we're saying it's a great game, but it's of course it's not a perfect game. And performance is pretty much the biggest problem here with Witcher 3. It's not that well optimized, even for the PS4. I'm not too sure about the PC.
Well, I mean, I've had to turn down a lot of the settings. It plays all right on medium setting for me. So there's that. I guess the advantage of the PC is that you can always turn off stuff. You know, you can play around with settings until you find something that works for you. And right now, it seems okay for me. Like, I haven't...
Now, how's the frame rate, though?
I'm getting a good between 40 to 60 FPS on medium settings. If I bump everything up to maximum, it can get down pretty low, but that's to be expected, I think.
Oh, then I highly, if that's the case, I highly suggest whoever is planning to buy The Witcher 3, if their PC can handle it, to go for the PC version, because the PS4 right now, it's barely hitting 30. It's having a hard time keeping everything together.
Oh,
it's a very beautiful game. It's a very gorgeous game. It stutters everywhere. It's hard. It's especially in the inventory system when I have a crap load of shit now, and you go through the tabs. It starts to lag on the inventory system, so it's not that well optimized. A patch came out recently, it helped it, but I still have to recommend whoever's planning to buy it on the PC. Hopefully in the future, maybe the PS4 and the Xbox One versions will have a better patch.
Oh, another good thing about this game is you get 16 free DLCs. That's kind of...
Which are not story DLCs, I just want to...
Yeah, they're little things like beards
out.
And hairstyles for Geralt and stuff.
Yeah, and then horse armor.
That's hilarious.
It's a jab on Elder Scrolls, yep. I'm sure. But yeah, you get free. I think you have to get. Yeah, I think the free DLC this week. I think is like a new look.
New look for Yennefer, yeah.
I'll double check on that. But yeah, we get free DLC. I know there's story DLC on the way because there's a season pass for The Witcher 3. And from what I'm seeing now with the script and the writing, well, we'll see, but I'm pretty intrigued. I might just bother picking it up because I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking about picking it up at some point. Also, it's really good so far.
The characters are amazing. Like, I'm really invested in this game so far. But yeah, Witcher 3. I'm gonna give my final thoughts of it if I ever finish this game because I'm literally 40 to 50 hours long. And the end point is nowhere near in sight. I do not know what to do, to be honest, because I feel like I want to do everything. Especially, I want to do the Witcher contracts. I want to know what's going on with Dandelion. I want to know what's going on with the King. Like, I really want to. I don't have to, but the story is so intriguing enough that I kind of do want to. Like, I really want to spend the extra time to figure out these problems in cities and towns and it's a very good game.
Yep, excellent game.
All right, let's go to the news because
we have to get through the news. So
yeah, we're going straight up news because like we said, we didn't cover any news last week because of E3. Now we're pretty much playing catch up. And what do you want to start with? What happened this week?
Do you want to start with like the games that have been announced so far?
Yeah, there's a couple of games announced. Actually,
and what's surprising is like a lot of these are all horror games, which is fantastic and ironic in a way because
ironic, yeah.
Because PT was like canceled and all. Sorry, not PT. Silent Hills was canceled, and suddenly like, oh well, don't worry, there's 4 or 5 other horror games coming your way, so don't worry. But yeah, we got a few of them. Let's start off with Perception, I guess.
Yes, Perception was announced, and what's Perception? Best way I can describe this game, it's pretty much Daredevil the game.
It's you're like a blind girl in a haunted investigating a abandoned old house, I guess.
Allegedly,
yeah, and then basically you can't see, but you can see through sound. Like when something makes a sound, it sort of gives you this sort of radar vision thingy.
Yeah, it's all dark, and then once you, I guess she claps. I think she claps. I'm not too sure what happens, or she stomps. I'm not too sure what she does, but you have the ability to either stomp or clap. I don't know what happened, and it's kind of like a sonar thing, and it shows like the the area you're currently in for a short while, for a few seconds, and then it's completely dark again. It's very interesting, the concept. These are the makers of it's a new studio, I think, but it's pretty much composed of veteran BioShock developers from
Yeah,
who made BioShock?
Ken Levine.
No, the developers.
It was 2K. Irrational Games. Sorry.
Irrational Games. There are veterans from Irrational Games. They made up a new studio, and then their first game is Perception, and I guess it's considered a horror game. I like the concept though so far.
I do too.
It's still Daredevil the game in my looks, but I'm very intrigued.
It has a lot of potential to do some freaky stuff. So hopefully that turns out good, and it doesn't turn out to be a complete. Like we've seen horror games also in the past that had so much potential, and they turned out to be crappy. Like what do you call it? The one what's her name? Jessica Chobot wrote. I forgot what it's called. But I remember that was hyped up all to heck, and then it turned out to be a terrible horror game.
No, but at least we're getting a lot. We're getting a good variety. Not like before, where one's like, oh my god, we finally got something. But yeah, Perception. Check out the trailer.
Yes.
We'll throw a link in the description.
A couple others that were announced. We got one is being remastered. Resident Evil 0. And I actually haven't played.
I've never played.
Me neither.
I'm not too sure if I want to.
Apparently, I guess it's one of the better ones since like it's getting the remastered treatment. We already had the first Resident Evil getting a remastered treatment, and that sold really well apparently. So I guess that's why this one.
Yeah, I kind of want to play the first one too because I completely forgot like what happened in Resident Evil 1 and. Yeah, I finished it, but I don't remember anything. So I think playing it again on HD actually might be worth it because it might feel fresh. Zero.
You know what's ironic about this version though? Like the game was originally released on GameCube, like way back in early 2000s, and then it got a Wii version, like in like 2008 or 2009, and now we're getting a high def version, and it's not going to any Nintendo platform. It's terrible.
Well, it's the year of remaster.
Yeah, but the fact that it's not getting on any Nintendo platform, not the Wii U or anything, it's kind of sad in a way.
I'll talk to Reggie later. It's fine. But Resident Evil 0 is getting a remaster. I'm getting sick of the word remaster, but I said,
it's the future, man. Like I foresee a lot of that being announced at E3. Honestly.
Yeah, especially E3. My God, it's gonna be a lot. But yeah, Resident Evil 0. Moving on. PT is back in the podcast, but it's a spiritual successor this
time. Yes, a game called Allison Road, developed by a totally independent guy, a fellow named Christian Kessler. And apparently according to the story, he started developing this about 2 weeks after Konami released PT. So he took a lot of influences and similarities from that. It's still like a photorealistic first-person sort of horror game. It takes place in an abandoned house, and there's a creepy ghost lady or whatever. So there hasn't been a lot of footage for this yet.
It's currently in development, but we technically have a spiritual successor to a game that never happened.
That's how powerful PT was.
Yeah, that's how powerful it was. A huge influence. It has a huge backing, and it was just a teaser.
Yeah.
I mean, Will played it with Migs, and Will's girlfriend also played it as well, Kat. And you guys also said that
we all loved it. Yeah, even though we were all scared out of our heads.
And it was just a teaser. It was just a teaser leading up to Norman Reedus' face.
That's pretty much yeah. So. Anyways, this Allison Road, apparently it's not a hallway though. It's a full house that you get to explore. So hopefully it'll be quite a large house. And again, there is a ghost there. And I guess it's just sort of a cross between PT meets Gone Home. Like Gone Home, remember where you were in the house, you were trying to figure out
which I love.
Happened. Yeah,
it's a great game.
So I get the feeling this is the game. That's how this game is going to play out. except you've got like a scary, creepy ghost lady.
Actually, I always thought Gone Home would actually end up to be a creepy place. Like,
Yeah,
because of the
me
first,
too. Actually, I
part,
thought there would be a creepy ghost somewhere too, but it turns out that wasn't the case. Spoiler.
it never came. And then towards the end, I thought that something else would happen, but it never. Gone Home throwed a lot of impressions, and it just never happened.
But not in a bad way. Like Gone Home's.
Not in a bad way. It's just like it got me. I'm like, oh my god, and like, oh, okay, it wasn't like that. Okay.
So
Damn
there's.
Who hasn't played Gone Home, definitely play it. It's a good 2-hour game, but it's definitely worth picking up for sure. Any price point, because that was an amazing
Allison
game.
Road set for release on the PC next year. There's
Next year?
Apparently. Well, that's their target date. No word on console ports though, but it's probably going to happen if this looks as good as it is.
Yes. So yeah, look forward. We have a spiritual successor to something that doesn't exist. That's really weird to hear. That's literally weird to hear. Okay, next up we have another horror game.
Yes, another horror game, and it's. I don't know what it's. Were we expecting this? Were we seeing this?
Five Nights at Freddy's 4 was announced. God damn it.
It was announced.
Do we really need another one? Apparently it was teased, but now I think there's a date, I think. Or,
But
I don't know.
like, will this be the last one, or will this finally answer all the? Because like,
fuck the second. I thought the second one was the last one. And then the third one showed up, and now the fourth one is showing up.
The third one showed out of nowhere. At least the fourth one, is getting some sort of teaser.
But wait, there's more.
There's more. Oh! Who's that?
I'm here.
Miggy
I
was
made
able to,
it from the
was able to
void.
catch up. He was able to follow up.
Back from the void. Welcome.
Back from wherever you are. Miggy joins us in the second half. Hey, Migs.
What's up?
How are
Did I
you?
miss?
We're talking about horror games.
Yes, the horror games exist apparently this week and I think last week.
And the recently announced, well, not recently announced, but teased Five Nights at Freddy's 4. And do we really need another Five Nights at Freddy's game?
Yes,
Shut up,
Miggy.
man. It's not hurting anyone.
That's
Just
true.
let it happen. It makes for interesting lore.
It does. Actually,
I missed
like,
you, man.
I actually like the lore better than the actual game in Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, the lore is way more interesting than the game. The game is just hard now.
The game's just complicated in general. I mean, like, seriously.
No, but I mean, like, I kind of like how the game also sort of differs gameplay-wise with each one. Like,
Oh, yeah.
the first one you had 2 doors, right? And then the second one you didn't have any door, but you had to do all this weird stuff.
Yeah, you have to like manage the music box and all that.
Yeah.
Then
Actually,
the
since
third
there's
one
4
was just
games
the
now-
one monster.
Yeah, the third one was just one, right? But then you had to manage stuff there. No doors also. So I don't know what this fourth one's going to be.
Actually, since there's 4 games, I'm actually kind of curious now to actually play all 3 just to see the progression of the series and to see if
They'll
if
probably make it a
harder
sale
or-
this Halloween, I'm guessing.
Probably, but now I'm kind of curious on how it progressed because we have technically. I thought there'll be only a trilogy, but now it's a 4 series
Yeah.
game. So I'm not kind of curious, I
The
guess.
thing about Five Nights, though, is like a lot of the lore, like it's not entirely told within the game. You gotta kind of
It's
do
not.
the back. You gotta do back reading on
Yeah.
the wiki and stuff as well.
Or the fucking... Have you seen the mini games in Five Nights 3?
Yeah, which is
Where like how to get the true ending, you have to
Yeah.
click the wall that looks like a number pad. It's fucking it's bullshit.
There's a true ending in that game?
Yes, there is.
Really?
True
And
ending.
like you have to play all the mini games and then glitch them out somehow.
Oh, really?
It's so obscure. Like just watch.
Is it true though? Is it true that Five Nights at Freddy's like supposedly story was actually built up upon the theories of the fans from
Yes.
1, I think, or 2?
They would dig up stuff and then piece it together. And I think the creator sort of built off that as you made the sequels.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I heard. Yeah, exactly.
So I guess that's pretty cool that he's actually playing off the fans.
It's funny. But again, okay, 4. Yeah, I guess maybe he's right. That happened.
It's probably the best example of a crowd-funded game in a weird sort of way that it's
a
not
weird-
crowd-funded by
yeah.
money, but crowd-funded by ideas.
Yeah,
and thoughts.
crowdsourced is
Crowdsourced. Yeah,
the
that's
best
the best
way.
word.
Yeah. But yeah,
But
okay.
yes, there's no date. There's just, I guess, teased. Or are we late for that? Yeah.
It'll probably come out next month.
It'll probably come out and we wouldn't know it was.
It'll
released,
just come out.
It'll just
like,
be out one day. Like, oh,
Wait,
it's there.
the first two games came out in 1 year, right?
Yeah,
Or
they
am
were
I
like
wrong?
2 months apart per game.
Yeah, so this one will be the first one of 2004, I think. 2015. What, 2004? What am I
No,
thinking?
3 came
No,
out
3 came
earlier
out
this
this year.
year.
Oh, it
Yeah.
did? Okay.
But they're technically still within 12 months, so it hasn't been
For
a
sure.
year, a full year since all the
That's
games
been
came
a
out.
year.
So
The
they
guys like
broke
dishing
it.
out games. The games that get dishing out games more than any other developer.
It's already a trilogy within like 6 months or something,
No, but
Yeah.
and now there's gonna be a 4th game.
It's a
hey,
prequel.
as long as people, as long as he enjoys making them and people keep buying it, why not, right?
It makes for an interesting YouTube video at least.
Oh no, for
But,
sure.
like,
A lot
the
of people
game
Let's
theory
Playing
one
that.
where he pieces all of it together.
or that, yeah.
Yeah. Like with the whole, but at some point, like the weird thing is, like in each game, like the Muppets, the they kind of like start degrading in each game. At some point, they're just gonna be nothing. You know, it's like a ghost.
Isn't the third game like one big teddy already?
Yeah, it's like a rotting.
It's a rotting
Freddy-
like bunny.
Oh, it's the bunny. It's not Freddy.
It's a different bunny. Like
Oh, okay.
the supposed timeline is the first game like happens in the early 90s. Then the second game happens like before that, way before that.
Okay.
And then the third
Oh
one
my
takes
God.
place after the first game shuts down, and then they made a haunted house based off the old pizzeria. And that's why like
Okay.
you have hallucinations of the old ones there, but there's actually only one monster, which is the rotting bunny. It's
okay.
super absurd. Like, just check out the game theory video. I should give you a link na lang so you can watch it.
But there, yeah, Five
It's
Nights at
easier to
Freddy
follow that way.
4 is definitely happening, and I wouldn't be surprised by the end of this year we might have a 5
Or a 6.
or a 6.
Or
Still got a ways to go.
There's a lot of time for them
But
to make 2 more games this
Regardless,
year.
it's a good time to be a horror fan, even without PT and Silent Hills.
Yes.
We got quite a bit coming up.
Here's another horror game for Sony fans. We got a release date for Hidden Penetration.
Oh
Hidden
god.
Penetration.
Hidden Penetration's Until Dawn game for Sony. Release date August 25?
Yes, it has been given a release date for August 25th. Good summer release.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, I hope that game is really good. I mean, it looks nice. But
It looks good, but like I actually haven't seen any gameplay. You know,
I've seen it. It's actually
there was a demo in what event
yeah.
was that where they showed the demo?
E3 Experience, I think. Oh no, E3. PlayStation Experience.
Yeah, the PlayStation X, where she was like naked in a bathtub, and she gets
Yeah.
chased by the dude.
yeah. But that was in the trailer. I didn't realize that was gameplay also. Oh, maybe there's a different video I'm thinking of.
Yeah,
so-
yeah, probably.
No, but I have a feeling though that even though I'm excited for this game, it might just mess up. It might just flop. I don't know.
You think it'll be like another Order 1886? In that
Dude,
sense?
people
might be,
thought
it might
Beyond
be.
Two Souls was good, and that game is trash.
I still have a lot of hope for that game. I haven't played it.
Oh yeah, wait for the remaster. That's
I
coming.
will play the remastered of
Extra Emotions edition
With
you know,
Indigo Prophecy, I hope at least.
extra William Dafoe.
Oh, that would be great, dude.
Extra William Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe director.
Oh, imagine if you could play as Willem Dafoe at some point.
Avenge
That would
me.
be more fun. You go, Spider-Man!
Well, speaking of release dates, we got some bad news for fighting game fans who haven't caught up yet to the
Yeah,
current
this
gen.
is actually a surprise. Yeah.
Mortal Kombat X has been pushed back yet again for 360 and PS3 owners to December, I think, or really late this year. So, guys who are still waiting for it, sorry, but look at the bright side of this. You'll likely be getting a complete edition with all the extra characters by that point. So, you know, you might be getting a better bargain, although it's like a lesser quality version of it.
What's the reason why they got the delay? Did they forget how to make a game in the previous generation, or
They haven't said. It's just been delayed.
it's kind of
But-
stupid?
Yeah. But, like, this is actually the second time the game's been delayed. Because, like, I think they were going to release it originally with the PS4 and Xbox One and PC version, right? And then it got
Yeah.
delayed, and now it's getting delayed again. So pretty murky as to when this is going to get released. Hopefully for people still on the last gen, it won't be. It still be coming out, and probably get like a complete edition at least with the extra characters, Freddie, Tanya, Tremor, and
Yeah, if you can't go current gen, I guess go either PC or just wait it out. Not really,
Yeah.
But like,
Well,
what bothers me is how huge the delay is. Like, the was supposed to come out in June, July,
Yeah.
now it's
then suddenly gets bumped to December.
it's like another 6 months doing this.
Like, yeah, that's a huge delay. Like, at least maybe up to September probably
Well,
would be
I do
more
have
feasible.
I do have a theory about it because
a month would be feasible, actually.
the port is being done by High Voltage
They
Studios,
do good stuff.
but they're the same people who did the PC version of Mortal Kombat X. And
Oh
that thing
no.
that thing has problems up the ass. So they're probably really busy trying to fix that thing up before focusing.
Yeah,
on the
because
last
it would
gen.
be harder to like hotfix a console version.
Yeah, but to December? I mean, that's 6
Yeah,
months.
that's a bit too much. Like, wasn't it like how this was found out by an Amazon error or a GameStop error?
Yeah,
So
GameStop
it might still change, you know.
Well, hopefully, because I'm
Hopefully.
sure a lot of people are hoping for the MK10. I mean, the previous gen version of the MK10, because MK10s are great games. They're great fighting.
Yeah, like me. I'm still waiting.
Yeah, and then, yeah, that's like Miggy. Like not everybody has converted to the current gen, so and they're missing out. I really think they're missing out. But yeah, a small side note though, or
Yes, a small side note on Mortal Kombat. If you're listening to this today, Tanya, the next character in the combat pack, should have been released already.
yes,
So, for those who have purchased the combat pack, you'll be getting Tanya on June the 2nd, which is today, Tuesday. Yeah. I'm looking forward to that. New characters, always fun.
I want Predator. That's all I want.
Well, he'll probably be the last one coming out. I'm
No,
actually
I
curious.
thought Tremor would be the last one. Like, I heard Predator would be the third guy.
Well, then
that
I'm
might
all good.
that might be
Predator
true
comes
because
out.
Tremor is kind of like completely unique. He's like totally new.
Yeah,
At
and
least
remember how Freddie came out before Scarlet?
Yeah. Oh,
So
did he?
that-
No, I thought Scarlet was the one. Freddie came out last, as far as I remember.
I thought Scarlet was the last one.
Scarlet was the first one. Then the Scarlet, Rain. Then
No, Rain
Freddie.
was the first one, right? Ah, never mind.
No,
I
yeah,
don't remember anymore.
Anyway,
games.
Tanya's. Yes, sorry, Tanya is definitely showing up today. Or check out your MK10 if you have actually the pack for the new DLC characters.
And
Yes.
it'll come with a
Who-
costume, right? Like every...
Yeah, classic costume set one.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's
I
cool.
don't know whose costumes those will be.
I think it's Kano, Liu Kang, and Sonya in their MK1 outfits.
Okay, yeah. Because I was thinking like it can't be Kitana or Melina because their classic
They-
costumes are unlockable.
Yeah, they're already in the game.
And it's not any of the ninjas either, because I know Sub-Zero's was released, Reptiles was released, Scorpion not yet, but it's about to happen.
All right, moving on. Will, this is actually one thing you actually want to put in the podcast, so why don't you
'cause
just do it?
It's fucking hilarious.
Okay.
So it turns out, what date exactly was this? A few days ago, a truck full of limited
Serious?
edition, a truck full of limited edition Splatoon games, amiibos,
And
other-
amiibos.
and amiibos and random Nintendo games was stolen in the UK. So someone heisted a truck full of amiibos, pretty much, and I find like such a hilarious thought.
It's not like they just stole the content; they stole the entire truck.
Yeah, they literally stole the whole truck. And, like, I'm wondering,
Did they know?
Were they aware
they
of the
must have
contents
known.
of the truck?
Yeah, exactly. They must have known. It couldn't. It's too stupid to be like some random hold up of a truck. They must have known that thing had.
Yeah, that's too much of a coincidence, man. There's some
It
dark
is
stuff happening here.
Like if we start seeing like
The
It's just
amiibo
a fun-
mafias.
It's just a fun. It's a fun news. I just can't believe the whole truck was just heisted.
Yeah,
away.
that's it. It's the whole truck. That's what gets me.
But this is the hilarious thing, all right? The truck was.
Oh, there's more.
Well, the hilarious thing is the truck is owned by a British retailer there called Game, and so basically anyone who pre-ordered Splatoon from those guys are not getting their copy anymore because the truck got stolen. And now
That's
they're
sad.
reporting.
Wait, that one truck was supposed to supply the whole of UK or the whole of Game.
So
Well,
now
with
it's
how
saying
scarce the game stores are there, it wouldn't be a surprise.
Yeah, now it's saying affected customers can either cancel their order or receive the game's standard edition along with a £10 discount. It's like, well, what are you gonna do?
Have you seen the
That's why
packaging
we
though for
can't
the
get-
Splatoon amiibos? Like they pack the three amiibos in one, which actually looks pretty cool.
Well, you can get the 3-pack, right, which is the Squid Boy, Squid Girl, and the Squid.
Yeah.
Squid. The special edition of Splatoon, I think, comes with just the Squid amiibo, and then you can buy them individually as well. As I understand it. Huh?
He can't. Oh man.
Maybe aliens took the truck for all we know.
Why? I don't know.
I mean, I know amiibos are like rare. Like I'm sure if we look at eBay, like at some point we're gonna see like a shitload of.
It's already
amiibos
happening, man.
I don't get it.
People on my feed are going nuts already.
Why are amiibos getting these weird articles saying that there's a heist, people stole amiibos, people are overpricing the price points of these amiibos? We're not hearing that in Disney Infinity. We're not hearing that
The
in
amiibo wars aren't over yet.
The amiibo hype is real, apparently.
It's probably because they don't make enough. Like
No, that's why. It goes
Yeah, at
to
least the
show
Skylanders and Disney Infinity ones, like they
I
know
talked
how
to
to
Reggie
handle
once.
toys.
I talked to Reggie once about that, and he says he intentionally is doing that. Well, at least the Japanese people are doing it.
He
US,
stole
they
the
still
truck
have enough.
himself to cause conflict.
Oh,
I have to email him about that one, about the truck, because it's just hilarious. But
No, but it does go to show that Nintendo's supply efforts are just not doing it, right? You know, if people are stealing trucks from amiibos.
Yeah,
I'd like
the
another
Smash
story.
Brother ones are still being fought over, and then the Splatoon nonsense isn't helping.
Yeah, but just wait until like those like Yarn Yoshi amiibos come out.
Oh,
Oh, boy,
god, it's gonna get so much worse.
people like looting and
It's
rampaging.
gonna get a lot worse before it gets better.
No, but speaking of Splatoon, though, for those who don't know what Splatoon is, it's a Wii U exclusive.
It's a
And
Wii U third-person shooter.
And it's really good, apparently.
It's apparently really good, and it's not. It's when we say a shooter, it's just you shooting ink all over the place. It's not. There's no guns. It's just like it's pretty much water
Well,
guns.
it's
with
it's
ink in
gun, yeah, but it's water guns.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
can't you still kill like your opponent by shooting at them? Like
it. They get.
Well,
they have
maybe
a
you
different
can
term
you
for it.
you can despawn them, I guess, or something.
Yeah,
Or
but
like you
they have a
melt-
term for it. They've like you got inked or something, but
You-
it's
you-
not.
Yeah, they don't say kill
Yeah,
because it's for kids.
and
yeah.
it's getting a lot of good buzz apparently so far. And
It looks it looks nice. I've seen like gameplay of it. It looks
yeah,
solid.
it looks a lot of fun, and like the one game mode where the objective of the game is pretty much to cover the game area as much of your team's color.
Yeah,
of
it's
ink.
it's more about map coverage than actual like kill points.
And it's actually
and,
pretty cool.
There are like weapon classes. Like you choose which load up you want to go in: the machine gun, the sniper, or the ink roller.
Yeah, I know there are different types. Like the ink roller, you just pretty much roll up ink all over just to get cover.
Yeah, and
area.
when you customize your squid character, like the items actually give you certain buffs.
Mm.
And like as you play, like you unlock more and customize and all that. It looks pretty cool.
And you can actually like you can go underneath, or you can go under.
You can
as long-
swim in it. You can become a squid.
Yeah, you can swim in it as long as you're in your color on your team's color. So the more cover you do, the more mobility you have, especially scaling up on certain pillars. Because if you have like ink on it, you can just like swim towards the top or whatever. It's pretty cool. The biggest complaint I think with Splatoon was the fact that they had no voice support.
Yeah, but when I look at the gameplay, it doesn't seem like a game where that's really necessary unless you're like in super high level competitive play.
No, I know, but I understand Nintendo because this is already aimed for children.
Yeah, you can't
So-
have like old men swearing at kids
Yeah, you
because
can't
of this
have-
Squid Game.
Yeah, poor old men, man. Like they're gonna be cussed out by 8-year-olds. I mean, it's not.
The reality is the kids will swear even harder.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I know.
Exactly.
It's not fair for the old people and the adults when they have to face off against 8-year-olds in a Nintendo game and get cussed
When I was
out.
playing GTA 5 online, with justice. We heard like this British kid swearing to this French guy. Like he had a mouth on him, man. Like there's fucking in the war. Just go over there, you fucking ass.
How old are you? 7.
He sounds like he's 8. Like he had such a baby voice, and oh my god, like he has a pirate's tongue or some shit. I don't know.
Parents, if you're listening to this podcast, raise your kids better. Don't let them play online games with voice.
Yeah, but
get them a Wii
aside,
U.
Though, get them a Wii U. Actually, I'm starting to think it's Splatoon actually the best entry point for any child who has not played online games. To be honest,
Maybe
like, instead of
like if the net is good, because we don't really know.
No, we don't really know. But if you think about it, like what you're gonna you're a 9-year-old kid who wants to play online games, you're gonna force what Call of Duty on him or Halo or Dota. It's the community is so aggressive.
It's so harsh.
Like I guess Splatoon would be, I guess, the best choice, or either Mario Kart, maybe. You know what I mean?
What I think I like about Splatoon is like even if you lose, like it's sort of a win-win for everyone. Even if your team loses the round,
yeah,
you can still you still get XP and rewarded enough that it doesn't really matter that you won. In a way, so like in that sense, it's sort of kid friendly. Like obviously, you get a little less, right? Because you didn't win, but not significantly to the point where, like, if you are on a losing streak, it really would affect you in that sense.
Yeah, I'm actually going to consider telling my brother, like, why don't you pick up Splatoon for your son, because he's been dying to play online games. So I think this will be a perfect entry point if ever.
Yeah, it sounds like it, and then it's an excuse to get the Amiibos as well.
Yeah, that too. Amiibo. But there, Splatoon. It's already out for those who are looking for a new game on the Wii U. It's exclusive for the Wii U. It's looking great.
It looks like a lot of fun.
Check it out. Yeah, definitely check it out.
Let's move on.
Wow, really. Okay, moving on in our agenda. We're gonna be talking about FIFA 16, by the way. Bear with us.
Yeah, the new FIFA 16. Like, we don't normally talk about sports games in this podcast because, to be honest,
we should talk more about sports games. Actually,
are
you with me, Mickey?
We're not really.
He's not with me.
He's not with you yet. But I wanted to bring this up because FIFA 16 is going to be the first FIFA game to feature not just the men's national sports soccer teams, but the women's national soccer teams. And I think this is a kind of a big deal because it sort of sets a precedent for future sports games in a lot of ways. We've had women in sports games, obviously, but never in the sense that we've had like their teams in that sense. Like we've had tennis games with women, we've had golf games with women, but we've never had like even UFC has had like the female fighters there.
PGA has women.
Yeah, golf games, man. Yeah. The PGA, Tiger Woods stuff. But this is the first time we're seeing like a full team, like
a full league? Is it a league?
Yeah. League is not league. It's the international women's teams, right? So it's the federation, I suppose. I don't know what you call it, but it sets a precedent because now, like, what if in the future NBA 2K16 or whatever will also feature the WNBA, right?
Yeah, I don't. Has they ever had like the WNBA? Because I don't see a problem to it. Like, why not play those talented athletes in a video game? Why not? Right?
Yeah, it goes to show also that women's like team sports, I guess, are getting more and more recognized as well, getting more coverage, which is a good thing, really. In sports, I think women have every right to play and be competitive in all those sports. Now,
definitely.
One thing that I kind of find funny though is like FIFA is also kind of notorious for having all these weird bugs and glitches. So I can just imagine how that's going to be with women players also.
Well, that's just EA being EA, but at least I guess finally, because it's FIFA 16.
Yeah, and FIFA is a good one to do it on because I think FIFA is their biggest seller as far as sports games goes.
Especially in Europe.
So. Yeah, Europe, South America, and even here in Asia, we have there's some pretty decent following for FIFA.
Actually, you know what? When it comes to soccer, the game that I play the most when it comes to soccer is actually Winning 11. That's my soccer game.
Isn't that Konami?
Damn it. Did they sell that franchise? I hope not.
I don't know.
Because I think it's the only Winning 11. I'm not sure which one, but it's the first one where you actually have a more a bigger role as a manager, and you can choose to play the game if you want to or not. So that's my experience with FIFA game, soccer in general. FIFA, I don't remember. I think I'm literally all winning 11 actually, to be honest.
But it's actually curious to see, like, will they keep this feature in FIFA 17? Or will it just sort of
hopefully, hopefully, like what you were saying, that we do see like WNBA, we do see the other side for women, because I don't see why not. There are fans that love those specific leagues. Might as well give them a game. Heck, man, the Olympics have their own games,
No, exactly.
Which I played. They're actually pretty fun.
I never played the Olympic Games, like those Winter Olympic Games and stuff.
The normal Winter Olympics. They have a Winter Olympics game.
I can't imagine like how fun can it be to playing shot put on your TV, or bobsled.
It's not fun at all. But we were just doing. We were just playing for the heck. We have a TV of the Olympics just on the other side, and we have the other one just for kicks. It's just for trips. All right, moving on though.
We should talk about a pretty big port.
Yeah. Recently, Ultra Street Fighter 4 came out on the PS4, guys, and for those planning to get the updated version or the upgraded version of this, how old is Street Fighter? Fuck, it's like,
pretty old. I think 2008 was the first iteration of Street Fighter 4.
It has so many versions of Street Fighter. It's a really great game, and I am surprised it actually hit the next generation. But yeah, Ultra Street Fighter 4 is hitting the PS4. It's already hit. It's already in shelves.
It's already available to download, but it's broken as heck. And
it's officially the worst port right now.
We wouldn't recommend picking it up at all at this point. And it's funny, too, because I remember they said something that they were bringing it to PS4 because specifically for the competitive scene. Like, they wanted to make a definitive version of the game for that fighting game community market, right? Mm-hmm. And so now they release it, and it's terrible, and people are complaining about it. And to the point that the organizers of EVO, which is like the biggest fighting game tournament of the year, have announced that they will be moving to use the Xbox 360 version of Ultra Street Fighter 4 rather than the PS4 version. So I think that's a pretty big blow on Sony's part, because they were the ones who sort of pushed for this new development, right? Because you realize Ultra Street Fighter 4 is not coming out on Xbox One at all.
Yeah, it's a PS4 port, yeah.
And also Street Fighter 5. So obviously Sony is sort of backing this whole Street Fighter Capcom thing, and for EVO to say, hey, like, we're going to go use 360s, I think it's kind of a big blow on them.
No, what exactly are the issues for Ultra Street Fighter 4? For one, I know that there are some mechanics like that shouldn't happen, that will actually affect gameplay, like in a competitive level, like TV frame rate skips or whatnot, that will actually ruin like certain inputs and whatnot. To that extent, to the point that, like, when I was when you talk about playing it in a tournament level, you'd rather go in the previous gen because you're gonna feel these unusual elements like messing up your game.
Well, as far as I know, the 360 version of Street Fighter 4 was always supposed to be like the best one out of between that and the PS3.
Oh, is that the case?
Don't they usually run the PS3 versions at EVO?
Yeah, normally they do, but I think they changed last year to 360, and this year they were supposed to use the PS4 version, but because of how bad the port is, they're moving back to the 360. So yeah, and actually, I'm not sure what I'm not familiar with what consoles EVO uses for other Capcom fighters, but I remember when Vanilla Street Fighter 4 came out, there was a Eurogamer comparison on Digital Foundry that showed that the PS3 version actually had some extra level of input lag over the 360. So for competitive play, the 360 version was actually the better version to get. And I assume that carried over through all the iterations, Super, Arcade Edition. Okay, well, so if you're thinking about picking up Ultra Street Fighter 4 PS4, I'd hold off for the moment. Undoubtedly, they've already said that they're busy trying to fix all the issues with it.
Of course.
Yeah, and actually, when you think about it, I remember the PC version of Street Fighter 4, when that came out, was also kind of buggy as hell. and that
And
eventually
they skipped a version on PC. Like I think they skipped AE for the longest time.
they went straight to Ultra, I think, right?
Yeah.
Or was AE like a DLC for Super? I don't remember.
It was an expansion for Super. It had Yun Yang, Oni, and Evil Ryu.
And Evil Rio, yeah. So it was a DLC, basically. I think they might have released it as a DLC on PC for Super.
Isn't Evil Ryu like really OP right now?
Well, Daigo's getting good with him now, so I don't know.
Tier lists are always changing in Street Fighter 4. But that's what I love about that game. It's like every Evo, it's always a different character winning it. You know, it's not always the same character.
Yeah, and like they're switching it up because they're getting bored with all their other characters.
Finally.
Who would have thought T-Hawk of all characters would become like something of a, to be...
T-Hawk was decent. Well, anyway.
He can fly.
He can fly. That's actually a big thing. It's actually a very big thing.
Yeah.
Speaking of Street Fighter, though, since we're talking about it, it's the best way to segue because I I actually went to a tournament last Saturday in Playbook.
Yeah, I saw your post about it.
Yeah, I know. I made an article regarding the cross up by Playbook, and that was a lot of fun. It was pretty much a very straightforward tournament. We had people from Davao, Cebu, people from Mega Mall, essentially all around the Philippines, really, to join this tournament.
You say people from Mega Mall as if they live there.
People from Mega Mall. No, but...
I knew that would come out that way. Not really what I was trying to say.
wait, so people are coming
from the north and the south.
No, they're coming from like other provinces just to play in this tournament.
Yeah, they pretty much invited like the Davao players or Cebu to join Playbook's cross-up event or cross-up tournament, and yeah, they came and it was amazing. It was actually a lot of fun. Like we had, I'm not sure the total count, but definitely it was a full house. Like it was crowded to the point where the event holders had to like the players who were going to play during the tournament will be inside the store.
Yeah,
and
they had chairs outside for people waiting.
Yeah, people waiting while watching the live stream of one of the matches. There's a setup there. And it was actually a lot of fun. And there's speakers, we had commentators and everything. It was actually well organized. Because like once one match is done, they leave the area and then they call in the next one and you go in. It was actually well organized. I didn't do well. I didn't do well at all. I got knocked out. I think I won the first one and I lost in the second and third. Double elimination tournament. From what I remember, I think one of the couple of best players from what I consider best players showed up in this event, and it was a treat to watch. It was a very big treat to watch. I made an article. You guys can check out the grand finals, even the loser finals and the winners finals, because it was really intense all throughout. And reason why I actually made the article for this specific event is because I've always wanted, or the fighting game community always kind of was lacking a presence down south. Like a venue where people can play, because usually if you want to play a Street Fighter game or even I guess Mortal Kombat, if I want to play Mortal Kombat, I have to go, for example, to Imperium. I have to go all the way up north, especially to join events or actually to just mingle with the community or the fighting game community.
That's what we're here for. Me and Will, we handled this side, I guess.
We hit the north.
Yeah, you hit the north, but now Playbook.
Winter is coming.
Which is in BF Parañaque in Pergola. They're slowly proving that they're possibly the good venue for the fighting game community if they want to hold like tournaments, because they've had tournaments for like Guilty Gear Xrd, they had tournaments for Super Smash Brothers, Mortal Kombat 10 recently, and now Street Fighter, and I think also Tekken Tag. They had Tekken Tag and PGF actually. They were also there. If you remember, Migs.
In the hot seat booth, they're all friends.
Yeah, they're all friends. So. Playbook, I'm actually pretty impressed. I'm actually hoping that in the future we find more events from them, and hopefully they'll be like supporting the fighting game community, because from what I'm seeing, it never really died down, especially Street Fighter. All the people I've been talking about with The Davao players are very excited. The Cebu players are still very ecstatic. It's going to go up. It'll just go higher from here. And from what I remember, from what I know, this would be a Capcom Cup qualifier for Street Fighter here in the Philippines, sometime in September.
Exciting.
And I know that international players are planning to come over here to grab our spots for the Capcom Cup qualifiers. So with that in mind, I think people are ramping up for that specific event. They're trying to improve themselves in their game, get better. Because come qualifiers, there should be a lot of tough international competition eventually. But yeah, it's ready. If you guys want to check out some of the future events from Playbook, do check them out. It's actually a combination of a video game rental lounge place and a bookstore. It's a very weird combination with these things. Like, how Imperium is also a video game rental, but it's also a bar.
Yeah, it's a bookstore.
This one's a bookstore, so we have children coming up every now and then playing Mario Kart, reading a book, or playing Lego. And on the other side, there's someone playing Mortal Kombat 10. It's very weird.
Lego.
Lego, Marvel Lego. Whatever.
So when Lego Dimensions comes out, it's gonna be perfect for them.
Oh yeah,
that's awesome
for sure. But yeah, moving on. What else we got here in news?
We got we got a bit more news from Nintendo regarding their plans for E3. They are resurrecting the Nintendo World Championships.
Resurrecting.
And they've been running a couple of the preliminaries already. And essentially what they're doing is they're getting NES Remix on the Wii U. Mm-hmm. And in NES Remix there's a mode there called Championship Mode, I think, which basically mimics what the players at the first World Championships had to do, which was, I think they had to play Mario...
They had to play certain levels.
Yeah, and then get a high score, basically. So it was Super Mario 3, Outrun, I think, or... Not Outrun, that's a Sega game.
Sega.
One of those racing games on Nintendo.
One of those old racing games, and I think Dr. Mario, right?
To people who don't know, just watch The Wizard. And that's basically it.
Yeah, the Wizard is basically it. And I mean, it's and they're going to have the finals basically at E3. So this is their big marketing stunt for the year. What do you guys think about this? Resurrecting this?
Dude, that's not what you want to talk about. You want to talk about the video that they made for this.
I want to talk about the video
because Reggie is awesome.
He's so game for anything.
They understand that Reggie is a character now.
Reggie, I love how Reggie is he not only is the head of Nintendo America, but he's just so fun. When you see him,
he is a lot of fun to watch. Actually, he's such a character. Oh my god! But yeah, you guys have to check out the video because Miggy is right. It's a pretty cool way to ramp up E3. But the video of him preparing and everything,
he wears the little Mac hoodie.
Yeah,
and he fires Bill Trennan at the end.
Yeah,
it's really interesting. It's really cool.
It's hilarious. And then he's playing all these weird games. He's doing Wii Punch Out, and he's playing the Virtual Boy at one point. And
he does. He trains with the Virtual Boy. I love this new Nintendo where they're trying to make the Virtual Boy come back.
Yeah, but it's hilarious because they know it was a shit product, right?
I know.
They totally know it.
And then you can worship it in that Tomodachi Life game.
You can worship the Virtual Boy, yeah.
There was also
I love how Nintendo's using this.
There was an issue with this when it came out, because before the video came out, Bill Trennan tweeted that he was that he's leaving Nintendo because you know what happens to him at the end of the video, right?
Yeah.
So people took that tweet seriously because they didn't see the video yet, and they had to do a bit of crowd control first, and it kind of ruined the joke.
Oh, whoops!
Oh well. Bill Trennan is part of the joke now.
Do check it out though. I want to watch it again. Actually, it's really funny. But moving on though, more news for Nintendo. Apparently, they actually have a lot. I just realized. Project Treasure.
Yeah, Project Treasure is a new game from Harada-san, actually, of Tekken fame.
Oh, Tekken fame.
But it's not a fighting game. It's a Nintendo Wii U exclusive. It's free to play.
Ooh.
It's a 4-player. I don't say FPS, but it's like it might be a third-person action game in a way, where you're basically a bunch of Tomb Raiders and you're like running into like old pyramids and stuff and killing mummies and zombies and whatever, and I guess trying to get treasure.
Yeah, it's a Nintendo exclusive, a third-person action game, free to play by Namco. It's a weird combination, if you think about it. And it's called Project Treasure.
Right. And did you see the trailer for it? Like, it looks okay. Like, I don't know what to make of it. Like, I know they're trying to go for a Left 4 Dead kind of thing but only 2 characters, I think, use guns. Like, the other 2 are melee characters.
Yeah, it seems that way. But when I was watching the trailer, I'm like, okay, here's the problem with Nintendo. There's a point that they throw something like this to gamers, and they're so out of sync with third-party support to the point that this looks so weird to me. That it's coming from Nintendo.
Like you can't imagine it being on the Nintendo platform.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, it just doesn't make any sense. Like it's their third-party support or their presence are so weak to the point that this looks really foreign to me. Like this does not look like a Nintendo thing to come out. You know,
it doesn't look Nintendo. It doesn't look Nintendo at all, honestly.
Yeah,
it actually does not look Nintendo at all. In fact, I like
the fact that it's happening, but it's just it has come to that point. If you get what I mean.
Yeah, it's just weird.
It becomes weird. So hopefully this is them saying that yes, we know third party is not something we're good at. We're trying to improve it by throwing this every now and then they get Harada to do it, not from Namco.
Yeah, like that's such a weird turn.
It's a weird combination.
Like, of all the ways to go, biglang, it's so out there.
Yeah, it's just a weird combination.
I'm interested. I'm curious about this.
I'm curious.
And it's running on Unreal.
That too. There's another one.
At least we know Unreal works on the Wii U.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yep.
But what did Bayonetta do? What's this engine? It's not Unreal, right?
Whatever
Platinum has.
Yeah, whatever DMC ran on. Which I think is an old Capcom engine.
Yeah. It's old Capcom engine, yeah. But speaking of Harada, we also got some new Tekken 7 stuff.
You want to mention that?
We finally got gameplay of Kazuya's mom.
Tiger.
Meaning to Tiger Uppercut.
And basically her power is summoning a magic tiger. And I feel that's like completely unfair. But okay, I mean, this is Tekken. You've got a fighting bear and
a bear that knows karate.
Yeah,
and a raptor with boxing
he ran
gloves.
the Zaibatsu at one time.
I was saying like Heihachi should be able to summon Kuma like that, like it
but then you'd have to take out Kuma as a character.
It becomes an assist.
It comes with an assist.
No, but you can't take Kuma out. Kuma has been in every Tekken game ever.
Wait, backing up. Why is there Kazumi Mishima first? That's what I want to ask, instead of tigers and bears.
I don't know. I think they just wanted more new characters, and they thought, well, we've got Jin's dad, his granddad, his great-granddad. What about his mom? Or his mom, but not his grandma. So
and remember when the Tekken 7 teaser came out, they were talking about Kazumi already. Like, as part of the storyline. Like, she has to kill Heihachi or something again.
Yeah, because everybody needs to kill Heihachi because she can't die, apparently.
So it's more surprising that she's not the first reveal.
What is the release date of Tekken 7, by the way?
I don't know, dude.
It's doing location tests in the arcades now in, like, Japan, I guess.
Yeah, no, because I'm actually getting a lot of questions. We might be able to play it
sometime this year.
There isn't any console... There is no console release date, nothing. Like, they're still revealing characters slowly. We talked a lot about it with Josie Rizal and all that.
I hope Josie Rizal is playable when, we get that chance later this year.
Oh, for sure. Then everyone will just be Josie Rizal mirror matches here.
I surely will be Josie Rizal. Have you seen her color schemes? They look pretty cool, aside from her default.
I haven't.
Her default looks like the worst, actually.
Her default is the flag.
I'm still pretty confused by her.
I know, that's why it looks like the worst, because it clashes.
I haven't seen her other color schemes or her alternate costume. If she has an alternate costume,
probably not yet. I don't think they have any yet.
Yeah,
but they announced Kazumi Mishima, which is they have the whole family already in the game.
And they have to kill Heihachi again.
I don't think he can be killed actually. To be honest.
Well, his voice actor died already.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They had to replace him in Tekken Tag 2. That's why he was the young Heihachi. Remember?
Oh, that's.
Isn't it a rule that if the voice actor dies, you kind of just have to retire the character?
But he's
Heihachi. They can't do that.
Yeah, he's old again, also, right?
Yeah, in 7 he's old again.
It's so weird.
But like that was the easy way out in Tag, that so that people won't know.
Is there anything else? I think that's it. I think we're covered for now.
That's pretty much it. We managed to catch up with all the news for the past 2 weeks, I think.
I think we managed to catch up. If you guys think we missed on something important, do let us know, because again we're playing catch up.
I actually think news is going to start slowing down the closer we get to E3, because people are going to be wanting to save the big reveals for then. So
yeah, I want to say though that Doom is definitely happening. I did predict Doom to be revealed, and it's actually going to happen. Just right now, Tomb Raider had a cinematic trailer released by I'm not sure if it's Xbox or Square Enix, but they released a new cinematic trailer. Looks pretty, but again, cinematic. But we're definitely going to see a gameplay reveal of the new Tomb Raider, the new timed exclusive for Tomb Raider, on the Xbox or the Microsoft press briefing on June. Wait, yes, this is the first. No, I think. Okay, next week, is the episode before E3? Yes.
I believe so, yes.
Yes. E3 will happen, correct me if I'm wrong, 16 to 17? Let me check. I'm supposed to know this.
June 16th to the 18th, yes.
Yes. 16 to the 18th. I'm pretty excited. I don't know what else I can say.
I'm pretty excited. Are we staying up all night?
That's my tradition.
I am.
That's my tradition. Except I don't stay up for Ubisoft or EA.
We watch the big three mostly.
Yeah, yes. The big three are what's really the important
ones. We should record the Skype session this time.
We should, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind doing that. We should do that. But yeah, guys, that's our podcast for this week.
This is episode 84. Thanks for listening in.
Next week we should have an interesting topic to discuss. Actually, we wanted it to be for this week, but because of our issues with the last episode, we had to
everything's been pretty much pushed back. Yeah, because I had something very specific I wanted to talk about, but I will reserve that for next week. Just enough, Actually, it's perfect. We can tackle it next week, because after that, it's all E3 now. It's all freaking E3, man. It's all E3. But yeah, thanks for listening in, guys. Again, if you haven't checked out our really, really long episode last week, it's like 3 hours long. It's just us. There's no impressions. There's no news. It's just us with our predictions and just having a great time with it. I think like each of us, with Migs from News and Cubes, joined that podcast, and each of us covered two press conferences each. And yeah, we just threw our predictions like it was nothing. Like everything's up in the air, and we had a lot of fun. So do check it out. It's 3 hours long. You've been warned though. It's up in the archives. You can check out all our other previous episodes at our website, toomuchgaming.com. That's 2 with a number 2. And again, if you have any questions or any news that we missed that you think we should at least address, or if you want to share as early as now your E3 predictions, we'd love to hear them. Do email us at thetmgpodcast@gmail.com, or throw a comment or a message or a tweet at Facebook or Twitter. That's Too Much Gaming for both those social media sites. And of course, our usual YouTube channel, which is TMG Vlog. We have an episode or a video every day, Mickey? Can I say that?
Yes, every day until the end of June at least.
Yes.
We got a new episode of Insane coming out today and on Thursday.
You are
and I think
insane.
Mega Man X ends this week.
There you go. Every day. We have a video every day. TMG Vlog. Do check out our Let's Plays, our playthroughs, and our
every day.
Even our interviews. We actually did some interviews for specific events, so do check that out as well. And am I missing anything? I think I'm pretty much good. We will see you guys next week. We have an episode every Tuesday. And every Thursday. And every Friday. And every Saturday. And every Sunday. And every Monday. And every Tuesday. And every Wednesday. And every Friday. And every Saturday. And every Sunday. And every Monday. And every Tuesday. And every Wednesday. And every Friday. And every Saturday. And every Sunday. And every Monday. And every Tuesday. And every Wednesday. And every Friday. And every Saturday. And every Sunday. And every Monday. And every Tuesday. And every Wednesday. And every Friday. And every Saturday. And every Sunday. And every Monday. And every Tuesday. And every Wednesday. And every Friday. And every Saturday. And every Sunday. And every Monday. And every Tuesday. And every Wednesday. And every Friday. And every Saturday. And every Sunday. And every Monday. And every Tuesday. And every Wednesday. And every Friday. And every Saturday. And every Sunday. And every Monday. And every Tues to hit us up on iTunes or Podomatic to subscribe so you can get updated as soon as the new episode goes live. Thanks again, and I'll see you all
next week. Bye.
Bye.